Welcome to the original rock and wrestling radio show. Welcome to Beyond Ringside, your source for wrestling, MMA, and boxing in the Southeast. To contact the Ringside Roundtable of Beyond Ringside, email them at beyondringside@gmail.com. And now, your host for Beyond Ringside, the man, no myth, all legend, Fast Eddie Layne.
I want to say greetings, good evening, how you doing? On this 17th day of May 2015. Yes, the backwards numbering system no longer works. At least not till the month of June in the second week. Everybody on social media knows what the hell I'm talking about because that little graphic has gone over the place. 5/11/15, 5/12/15. It's like, okay, come on, we've got the point. It did it last year in 2014 too. Welcome into Beyond Ringside, live from Studio One and a multiple location station. A lot of things going on. When a champion isn't a champion, a good friend is now a Hall of Famer. And the insanity? Yes, WWE's gone far enough to say that they actually want to pay me back. I kind of like that idea. Like to welcome in tag team partner, the one, the only, Mark MaBo Bowman. What's up, MaBo?
What the hell are you talking about?
I would normally do that for the cold open, but I decided to do it for the lead-in.
What are you talking about?
Well, you know about number 2. Number 3.
Yeah, I do
Don't say it. Don't
you
you talk about it all the damn time on the show too. Thank you to everybody.
Exactly.
Thank you to everybody listening in through BeyondRingside.com as well as through the TuneIn radio app, Shoutcast, WinAmp. Ustream is up and running this afternoon, as well as, of course, the Beyond Ringside radio app for Amazon, Android, and BlackBerry. Thank you for hanging in with us. Android, Amazon, and BlackBerry.
Oh, I was like, what's an Amazon?
There you go.
Do you get snoo from the Amazon?
Really? You went there.
Really? Okay, real quick, little side note here, by the way, Eddie.
Go for it.
A person we I guess we both know. I don't really know her too well, but I think you might have your paths might cross. But the 6'9" chick that was supposed to be in Global at one point.
Yeah. Lindsay Hayward used to be ISIS, then she almost became
Aloysia on NXT,
Yeah.
but they found out she had done some less than family-friendly photos or whatever.
Yeah, they're keeping Lana around though.
Yeah. Well, no, the reason I say is I was actually going through, it's one of the many pages I have on Facebook, and I forgot what it was. I forgot what the exact subject was with memes and all that stuff, but it was going through, and it says something like, it said "Death by Snoo Snoo," and I was like, oh, Futurama reference. And then I looked, and it was her picture, and it said, and it gave her shoot name, and it said, 6'9", former pro wrestler is now is now an actress.
Yeah, Lindsay's actually trying to build her career.
Yeah, I forgot what it was, but I was like, I know her.
Yeah.
But the fact that they actually tagged it as Death by Snoo Snoo, I freaking lost it.
Funny. Yeah, actually, I follow her on Twitter and also on Facebook as well. And actually Instagram, too. We've corresponded a couple of times.
Well, moving right along.
Yeah, I was actually trying to say something. I was trying to think of something cute to say right there because, I'm 5'8", and I have a tendency to be a flirt. And lo and behold, she's like, I'd need a cherry picker to get high enough to look her in the eye, but that's an entirely different story. Don't say it. I know I just set you up for one, and I'm trusting you not to take it.
Oh, I was just going to say you wouldn't need a cherry picker to pick a cherry.
See, I knew that's where you were going to go. That's why I have to be careful. For those of you listening for the first time, let's go ahead and just lay this out there. I have to be extraordinarily meticulous about what I say and how I say it because MaBo can take anything that I say. See, I'm the one who's normally notorious for taking somebody's statements and turning them around. Nope, MaBo pulls this crap on me all the time.
Well, I can't help it. I'm morally depraved.
Well, we know this. And for those who don't know, you soon will. Trust me on this one.
I don't know. I kind of got a headache today, so I might not be as on as normal. And Eddie, as you know, right before we went on the air, I told you I was suffering from a headache and everything. And when you, stepped away to go finish your show prep, a clap of thunder rang across the sky, and I was like, and there's why the headache is still here, because I am prone to seasonal headaches when it involves, humidity and pressures and whatnot, and the hoo-hays and all that other scientific mumbo-jumbo.
Yeah, understand the concept.
Plus, anybody that's been following me on Facebook or Twitter, I think just mainly Facebook, went Tuesday. Tuesday was the day I decided to give up energy drinks and sodas.
Oh, boy, you're having caffeine deficiency, aren't you?
Friday, I had my last... For those who know what I do for a living and where I go sometimes, they have free donuts on Fridays. Friday, I had my last donut, so any kind of ice cream, not counting sherbet, though. That free sherbet does not count. But ice creams, cookies, cakes, candy bars, going to cut those out, and then eventually everything with processed sugar, I'm going to cut that out and then move on to, wheat bread and all that stuff. Just trying to... I'd like to be able to see my penis once again, basically, where I'm going with this, ladies and gentlemen. There's not much there as it is, no matter how much I trim it down. But, they say you gotta, if you got a powerful tool, you need a big shed. Well, sometimes it's not necessarily to have a shed for like a, little screwdriver. So.
There you go.
Yeah, I've got guinea pigs I gotta try to outlive. Because if not, they have told me they will eat me when I die.
Yeah, they probably will.
Oh, God, they will, because, they know I know where the parsley is.
And with everything coming into play, coming back over to it for a second, and before we go any further, now that we've totally gone off the rails, which for us is...
Hey, look, it's normally you or Wicked that take us off the rails, so you know what? It's my turn now. So.
I was going to say, which normally happens once every 3 minutes, if you'd let me finish the sentence. This is a show that talks wrestling, mixed martial arts, and all of the above, and we'll end up talking about comic books, we'll talk about movies. I'll end up on a tangent saying something to the effect of, I couldn't go to sleep this morning because the fact that I'm laying in bed, looking for something, I'm channel surfing, and lo and behold, Fox Sports 2 is showing live Australian football. I'm sitting back going, okay, let's check this out. Well, lo and behold, it's soccer, not rugby. And which is what I was thinking. I was thinking it was going to be rugby. So I'm sitting back going, but this is still, and they're turning around saying this is a championship game for the Australian Range Cup. And it's like, okay, championship matchup. Let's see what's going on. Let's find out the backstory. Well, you've got Melbourne Victory versus the Sydney Football Club. And it's supposed to be two of the best teams out there. Well, Melbourne's just blocking and just shutting down Sydney's offense every chance they get. And the score is only 1-0 going into the second half. So lo and behold, I'm sitting back going, okay, let's see. Maybe somebody can turn something out here. And I keep watching, and it's like, as the final minutes approach, I'm sitting back looking and going, there have been more penalties, i.e. yellow cards, handed out in this one half of a match. Holy crap. Nobody's been, wait, somebody finally got ejected. There you go. It's like, somebody finally got a damn red card. Believe it or not, I do pay attention to soccer. I am a casual at best fan of soccer or, world football. But it was cool.
Footy.
Footy. But
Footy, as the kids call it.
I give you that to give you this. I made it through the end of the match. And they're getting ready, and I'm watching this going, this is pretty cool. They've got the stage set up and everything for the award presentation. And they give medallions or medals to the officiating staff. It's like, that's cool. Recognize the officials who are out there. And, I didn't have a problem with the calls that were being made. I'm watching this going, okay, that looks like it was a real call. It looks like it was a fair call. I didn't see any BS calls, which we've all seen in professional sporting events. Then they give the runner-up medallions or medals to the Sydney team, Sydney FC. And just as they also give out the winners medals to Melbourne. Well, here comes the fact that they're calling up the captain of Melbourne to award him the trophy on behalf of the team. A trophy that was called by Fox sportscasters as the golden toilet seat. That's not being a douche. Oh no, it was funny as hell because it did look like a toilet seat. I'm not kidding. Just there's no barbed wire there.
Yeah, but you don't disrespect somebody else's.
No, they were local sportscasters, so they know the history of the
okay, well,
trophy.
that's
No, it wasn't like somebody in New York was picking on something in Melbourne. That'd be
Okay.
that'd be a douchey move. But for the hometown broadcasters to sit back and say, "Yeah, this has been jokingly called the golden toilet seat," I'm sitting back going, "That's funny. I want to see this trophy now, so I'm staying up." And it looked like a damn toilet seat for King Kong, kind of, sort of. Well, the commissioner or the authority figure for Australian football is coming around the staging area to present the trophy to the captain of Melbourne. He falls off the stage and basically flips down onto the ground. And the camera's just cut off of him just as he makes impact. About 2 minutes later, they're showing cutaways to the crowd and everything, trying to make this like, is this guy dead? Because he looks older than me after a Saturday night. Which, of course, is not hard. It's very damn hard to do. Well, he gets up, they get the camera back on him, and he's kind of flabbergasted at the fact that he fell. I almost took a damn header on the edge of the stage. But he gets back up, the crowd applauds, and the one thing that is going through my mind is how many NFL fans would love to see Roger Goodell take that fall at the Super Bowl. I mean, like that. But they presented the trophy when the pyro went off, the confetti cannons exploded, and everybody hoisted the trophy up, and it ended on a great note. So I was happy to have stayed up and watched it. Something I would like to see is next weekend. Anniversario from Chikara Pro.
You sure it's next weekend?
It's 23rd.
What about Back to Skull and all that stuff?
Excuse me, it's 24th because back to school is on 23rd. I apologize, I said the wrong date. The Wrestle Factory event is actually going to be May 23rd, 7 o'clock p.m., just under 6 days from now. And Anniversario 2015, A New Attitude, is going to be 1 week from today, Sunday, May 24th, 3 o'clock p.m. local time. It's going to be at...
I could have swore Anniversario was supposed to be an iPay-per-view.
Well, I don't know about the iPay-per-view part, but I do know the fact that it's next Sunday at 3 p.m., 2 p.m. our time.
Well, yeah, but like I said, I could have swore Anniversario was iPay-per-view. Might have been at one point.
I have not heard anything. I know that tickets are available. I don't know. I'm checking to see what the pricing is right now. Second row seating is still available, apparently, at $30 a seat, which is really good. I can't believe there's still second row seating available 1 week before before this show, because think about it. And, yeah, I know getting us back to pro wrestling the hard way is what we just did.
Well, real quick, just a little side note.
Yeah.
I spent some time with my mom yesterday, and she lives with my grandmother, and we get back to my grandmother's house, and we walk in, and I just kind of wasn't really paying attention, and I heard something about so-and-so has a career in boxing and blah, blah, blah. I wasn't paying attention until I looked up, and my 81-year-old grandmother was yesterday at around noon was watching UFC.
Nice.
Yeah, and my mom was like, Mama, why are you watching that? She's like, well, the dadgum Braves game ain't on yet, and I can't find nothing to watch.
Good.
And I was like, that's my meemaw.
That's funny.
Yeah, so she kept it on there for a few minutes. She was watching it, and I guess she just turned it over or something. But just to even know the fact that my 81-year-old grandmother was watching mixed martial arts for even 5 minutes made my day.
Dude, you got to remember, my 84-year-old father will actually sit back and watch The Walking Dead and the UFC. So nothing surprises me anymore. My dad, who hates baseball, will watch the UFC with a passion, just as quickly as he'll watch The Walking Dead.
Yeah, well, my grandmother loves her some Braves baseball.
Then you might have heard, you probably saw the mushroom cloud coming from her place, because the Braves were in action earlier today, and their starting pitcher was throwing a no-no all the way into the ninth inning. It's like, shot up the middle, cost him the no-hitter.
No idea.
I do. It was a sad moment. I am a Braves fan. I don't watch nearly as much this season as I would like to, because I've got so much else going on right now. But, no, I'm looking at the card for Anniversario, and actually it looks better than the card for Payback.
Dude, I've got a card on WWE 2K15 that's better than the card for Payback.
I mean, this is almost getting ridiculous. And okay, look. Somebody posted a graphic the other day that said it perfectly. we should build up what we like, what we appreciate faster than we tear down what we don't like.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, and I circulated that around on the different sites that I work with.
That might have been where I saw it from.
Yeah.
With yours.
And I thought it was a very well said. I think it's very well said. I think it's very well intentioned. But I'm going to throw a curveball into the mix, and I'm going to come straight to you for the world according to MaBo on this one.
Oh Lord Jesus! Everybody sit down. We ain't got that kind of time.
The Reader's Digest condensed cut of the question is: for as much that is right in the world of pro wrestling and sports entertainment, and for as much that is wrong in the world of pro wrestling and the world of sports entertainment, why are we so quick to point out the negative and not build up the positive, in your opinion?
My opinion, because today, this day and age, the group of fans has become so jaded, and we want it now, we want it thanks to Burger King, we can have it our way right away type of society, and also the fact that thanks to the internet and social media, we can now voice what we want, when we want it, how we want it, why we want it, and where we want it, in the blink of an eye. I mean, people might not have been happy with the big foam finger era or even the Attitude Era because, the internet hadn't really popped off during the Attitude Era. But the communications, relay was not, prevalent as it is today. But I think it's mainly just because everybody's, spoiled and jaded, and, they feel that they can do it better. But the only reason they're saying they can do it better, but you're saying you can only do better. You can do it better your way, which is for yourself only. Other people might not share your views. So that's why everybody's quick to crap on it before anything good happens. I try to keep an open mind as best as possible because I've been following it since '84, '85.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just I try to keep an open mind best as possible. That's why I'm able to not necessarily enjoy sometimes what the WWE puts on, which, little side note, if anybody missed the ESPN 60 for 30, 50 for 40, whatever it is, behind the curtain special that they did, I thought it was well done. I thought it was great. And, people are saying what I've been saying all along is that Adam Rose is a great, Ray LaPon or whatever, I'm not going to use the man's, shoot name.
Although you just did.
No, but I'm just saying, what I'm saying is I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, Ray LaPon. No, I think that, I think the character itself, Adam Rose, I think it's a great character. I mean, but I don't, WWE has a bad habit of taking something and trying to force people to like it instead of letting it happen organically. You could see that everything from Rocky Maivia all the way up to today. And I think if they would have just, instead of shoving Adam Rose, down our throats, I think if they would have let it happen organically like it did down at NXT, I think it could have done a lot better. But for those of you who haven't had a chance to watch it, see if, it's what is it, Eddie? E60 or whatever?
Yeah, it's E60.
Yeah, if you can catch it if you have an on-demand service through ESPN, if they have it, watch it that way. If you can catch a replay at any point, it's called Behind the Curtain. Not to be confused with Beyond Ringside. That's us. I would definitely check it out. But to me, it's just everybody. It's really society in general. I think we might have even touched on this before. How society's now, I can do it better. Okay, well, go ahead and do it better. Why should I? Well, you just said you could do it better. Well, I don't have the means to do it, so that way.
Start.
That's the reason why. That's the reason why I can say I can do it better. I just don't have to prove to you that I can do it better. So that's just how it just comes across to me. Is everybody says they can do it better. Now, I mean, I'll be the first one to admit I will critique something, as the day is long. I will sit there and go, I wouldn't have done that. I mean, but I do it to myself. Now I'll get on here and I'll speak my mind about this, that, and the other, but I'm voicing my opinion, but I'm not sitting there saying, but yeah, I bring up the good as well as the bad.
Right.
So, but I know if I was given the opportunity, if I was given the means, could I? Who's to say? Am I ever going to have the WWE's budget? Don't know. Probably not. I would like to think one day if I ever hit the lottery big that I would, maybe try to start my own company. Just, or at least, to showcase. To me, my dream's always been to showcase local talents, good local talents, not ones that you're friends with. Hint, hint. At certain individuals, man. Not ones that you put on your show because they will work for free or a hot dog or a chance to be on a DVD. Know what I'm saying, man? So I would do it. Huh?
I knew the first time.
Yeah. You notice I did that voice and not the man, because actually, believe it or not, I have enough respect for that man to know that he knows. He's gotten around to where he knows how to pick out good talent. Questionable in the past, certain individuals, Rumble Pony. So, I'm just saying, you can't slap a singlet on every fat guy and expect him to draw money.
Yeah.
But they couldn't draw $1 with a green crayon. So, I respect the man enough to know that he's been able to pick out some. I would say the past 5 years or so, 3 to 5 years, he's picked out some phenomenal talent. The other guy, well, not so much. So,
well, I've got to lay this out there, and I got to cut you off for a hot second because, okay, for as much as that individual does have a tendency to really just, I don't know, maybe he thinks it's genuinely extraordinary, but sometimes it's not, and sometimes it is. I mean, because remember, he was the same, that a certain promoter was the same promoter who brought in the Batiri and Tim Donst.
Oh, yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. There's also, then once again, this is about the, not just the, the negative, but the positive. This certain individual, has also brought in stars of Chikara, of IWA Mid-South. He's brought in a lot of, talented people.
Right.
At times, but when you go on consistency.
Oh, consistency, there's maybe 5% of who will bring in that's actually, yay! And the rest is like, huh?
That's what I'm going with. Sometimes it doesn't pay, and if it gets me heat with this person, I don't care. I don't work for him anymore. At least I don't think.
You do.
Oh, wait, I do or I don't?
You do.
I don't?
You do. I had to do it.
Oh. Well, I mean, if he gets me heat or whatever, I don't care.
No, but he understands. I mean, look, I've talked, and we're not going to mention this person's name out of respect, but it's a promoter that we both know here in the southeastern United States. The person has actually operated 3 different names as far as the promotion goes. One was a little bit more of a straight ahead. The other was more of a little bit of a fun factory. And I mean, the Reader's Digest condensed cut for me in this particular part of the perspective is this person has a vision for what this person wants to do with their company. But unfortunately, this vision has a tendency to get sidetracked with other things. I'm very open-minded about styles in pro wrestling, and I'm not just talking about AJ Styles. I'm a fan of traditional straight-ahead mat wrestling. I'm a fan of good old-fashioned smash mouth wrestling. I like punch kick just as quickly as I like headlock hammerlock. And with the advent over the last few years of a more high-flying style, when you've got people who can utilize a high-flying style and tell a damn story in the ring, that's a beautiful thing. A backflip for the sake of a backflip is a backflip. The backflip is part of a storyline, is properly placed. Anybody who has a clue about pro wrestling will sit back and say, yeah, you're right. You don't just do a backflip for no reason. If it's part of a sell of a piece of a match, then it can go in there. But if you're just doing it to show the fact that you can do a backflip, whoop-de-damn to do. Do it before the bell rings. But there's times when, and this happens to a lot of promoters. I've seen it happen. They have a vision, they have an idea, they have a concept, and lo and behold, and I am so surprised that Adam Page's head did not go flying straight through the canvas after ACH came off the ropes. Damn, that looked like it hurt.
Yeah.
But lo and behold, I'm sitting back rewatching ROH right now while I'm in studio. But, you know, there's times when you just got to sit back and say, what the hell are you thinking when it comes to certain promoters?
Yeah, and that's my thing is it's just, you don't want to ever, you don't, in my opinion, and I've never run a promotion. I've been part of a promotion. I have helped fund a promotion. I have helped book and announce for a promotion. But you never, if you're the owner or at least the money guy, because sometimes they're two different people, you don't ever want to be considered, you don't ever want to be known as just, you know, a mark with a bank account.
It's called Mark with money, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be that. And I hate to see that happen. Now, if you're bringing in someone who you think is going to help your company, even if it's just for one time, if you're going to bring somebody in who you think is going to help build your promotion, if you think, even if you like the person's work, that's great. You know what? That's great. That's showing your appreciation. I'm not gonna lie. If I had is there really something important in that bowl that you have to find? Sorry, the guinea pig's like digging through like it lost a contact. If don't look at me like that. I'm not gonna lie, if I had the money, I would bring Chikara down here in a second.
Oh, you and me both.
But not because because I'm a fan, but because I think that style of wrestling needs to be seen. It's not seen enough in the South. Just like, there's if I couldn't do that, if I was told here's X amount of money, your only constraint is you need to book 6 to 7 matches, get a decent venue, make sure you get a ring, yada yada yada. Would it be Chikara heavy? No, because if it was going to be a Chikara show, then just be a Chikara show. But there are several other guys that I think who some have been through Chikara, like Johnny Gargano.
Right.
I think Johnny Gargano should be featured more prominently, and not when I say the South, I don't mean Florida. Yes, I know a lot of these people have been in Florida. Some of the young guys that we've met through other companies like Caden Sade.
Right.
Or Caden Sade, as I like to call him.
There you go.
Here the singer, one of them needs to come to an agreement. What's the guy? Kerry Awful. Him and his tag team partner, what do they call him?
Nick Iggy.
Yeah, Nick Iggy. Aren't they called?
Team IOU.
Yes, I would love to bring them. The Hooligans. Would love to bring them in. There's just so many people that, I would love to, just be able to cherry pick from different promotions and be like, hey, I can bring you down. I want to feature your talents.
Well, see, here's the funny.
One thing. Huh?
Here's the funny part, because there are talents around the Southeast that are already running. You mentioned Caden Sade, and the kid is an extraordinary talent out of Tennessee. Nick Iggy and Kerry Awful, Team IOU. They are a pretty good tag team based out of Tennessee, North Georgia. I was watching when I went up to Empire in Rossville, Georgia. I had a chance to catch some really good matches with a lot of people that I had not seen work before. And I will say this, the Alvey match, Ryan Alvey and The Temptation, Sean Tempers.
Yes, that's another person who I don't think gets enough.
Sean Tempers?
Sean Tempers.
Oh, God, yeah.
Sean Tempers. I don't think, and to me, sometimes it's a good thing to have. I've always had a love-hate relationship, and I know we're about to hit the top of the hour break.
Right.
I've always had a love-hate relationship with the moniker Best Kept Secret.
Yeah.
Because you can have that moniker for so long, But if you're still getting called that after X amount of years, and you're still, it's almost like a detriment. And it's getting to be, I think the Washington Bullets, they need to be featured more prominently. I think the Washington Bullets would do great in Chicago. I think the Washington Bullets would do great in AIW. I think the Washington Bullets would do great in anywhere really in the Northeast. I think, give them a chance to go over to Pro Wrestling Guerrilla out in California. Give them that chance. I think those guys are phenomenal.
They are. I've watched them on more than one occasion. They're definitely worth watching. I mean,
yes,
it's gonna be crass, but I'd rather watch them than the Bucks.
I would like to see them versus the Bucks.
That'd be nice.
So it's just to kind of sum it all up. There's a fine line between when you're the booker, when you're the promoter, when you're the money man. There's a fine line between bring somebody in because you appreciate their work,
right,
and then bring them in because you're a mark with money because you can. You can sit there and go, I brought this person in, or I brought this person in. Yeah, well, you know what? They probably charged you out the nose, and you know what? I don't blame them. I'm not saying a lot of the legends do it, but I've heard tell of quite a few legends who they found out this promoter was a mark with money, and they built that person for as much as they could get. And that, to me, is wrong on both parts.
It really is. But do me a favor. Let's go ahead and take it. Top of the hour break, hitting right here and right now. Folks, stay with us. Beyond Ringside Live continues right after this.
When planning your next party or special event, insist on the best. Full Range Entertainment is a professional entertainment company providing a full range of services. From professional disc jockeys and MCs to catering and photography, when the details of your special day must be perfect, call us first. Wedding receptions, corporate parties, school functions, birthday celebrations, and more. We also have Birmingham's largest selection of karaoke tracks available. With over 40 years combined experience, Full Range Entertainment can provide you with the talent and professionalism you need and deserve to make your next event one you'll never forget. For more information on the full range of services we offer, call 533-HITS. That's 533-HITS. Or check us out on our website at fullrangeentertainment.com.
Hello, everybody out there. This is Universal Soldier Phil Shatter, also TNA Gunner. 2 years in the making as NWA National Heavyweight Champion, making my way to the top as #1 in the world. And you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Do you like beer? Do you like business? Do you like businesses that make beer? Then you'll love this new show. It's the Beer Trail Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Price, and we're going to travel through the world of craft beer and talk to the breweries and see how they got started and what inspired them to make their beer. So check it out at thebeertrailpodcast.com and tell your friends, and hope to see you on the trail.
This is Bambi Weeble with Masters of Ring Entertainment, and you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Runner, Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
Oh, yes, this is Paul Bearer, and some people call me Percy Pringle III. You're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
This is Ace Haven from Pro South Wrestling, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Welcome back in. The simulcast rolls on. Beyond Ringside Live on this 17th day of May 2015. Thank you to everybody listening in through the replay side as well. Catching us through Podomatic, iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio. Yes, just simply look us up on iHeartRadio mobile app and on iHeartRadio's website.
I love Lamp. I love Lamp.
You love Lamp. God. Thanks, Brick.
I love Lamp.
Wasn't it Brick Tamlin? Wasn't that the character's name?
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
actually,
whenever you say iHeartRadio, I just always hear I love Lamp.
there you go.
Okay, you go ahead. I was going to say, let me hit you with something, but if you got something, go ahead.
Actually, yeah, I want to go ahead and bring this one up that I started to do during the lead-in. Brandon Bull Halsey with Bellator can no longer say, and he was 9-0, and actually is 9-0, he can no longer say he's Bellator's MMA's middleweight world champion. Once again, he is undefeated. He still managed to show his talent with a one-sided destruction of proven veteran Kendall Grove, nicknamed a Spider, coming in at 21-15 as of last night. And once again, remembering the fact that Halsey is 9-0, but he's no longer champion. Short version is the contest served as the features main event for Friday's, Halsey versus Grove Friday. And I'm a day off. Trust me, I'm going to get caught back up in a week or two. And Temecula, California. Halsey nearly finished the fight in the early going, moving to an arm triangle choke that would have finished a lesser opponent, but Grove somehow battled through the effort. Still, it was one-sided for the former champ, Halsey. Still undefeated, but no longer champion. Short version is, here's the payoff on this. The undefeated, there's that word again, Halsey, was stripped of the Bellator MMA middleweight world title for failing to make weight. Now, he will look, of course, to get the belt back at his next appearance. Halsey basically said, and these are quotes, "I was my own worst enemy. It was how I performed. Grove didn't throw anything at me that I wasn't ready for. I was just trying to tough through an injury. So from that vantage point, I had to tough it out and come out with a victory." Now, here's the thing. For someone to have that, you would think that they were given a lot more of a fight. And here's the fact of the matter. Halsey really was in no major trouble with Grove. I watched some of the replay. And lo and behold, it didn't really look like Halsey was going to face a major threat in this. But we are our own worst enemies sometimes, and that is what I'm taking out of this. No matter what happens, how it happens, when it happens, we have to look and remember the simple fact that everything does have ramifications. If you try to carb up too much before an event, if you try to protein up too much before an event, if you try to sugar up too much before an event, it can backfire on you and you won't make weight. And a lot of it, some of it does have to do with the ongoing injuries, because whether you're in boxing, whether you're dancing with the stars like Money and Manny, or specifically Mayweather, from there, if you're in any sport or any athletic competition or exhibition, injuries can play a part. And they always do. Because if you're used to working out at a particular intensity level, wow, I've just got it bad today. And an injury keeps you from working out at that same level, it can catch up to you in a heartbeat. And I think that's what a lot of it happened with Halsey. So he's going to find a way. He's going to get the belt back. He's going to make weight and get ready to go for the next event. But still, for Performance Friday, hey, Brandon, tip of the hat to you, brother. Nice showing. MaBo.
Yeah.
You said you had something you'd like to bring up?
Well, yeah. I was just wondering if you have seen the roster so far announced for Global Force Wrestling.
No.
They're actually starting to pack in a lot of talent. And to me, though, and I brought this up to my good buddy Albert over at Kingdom Comics, because he's a wrestling fan as well. And to me, though, for those of you who have seen it, it looks like, if you've played any of the WWE games in the last 5 years or whatever, 10 years, and you're able to when you can have your own company and run your own shows. Not just restricted to the WWE guys, mainly your creator wrestler guys. To me, the roster for Global Force Wrestling looks like a creator wrestler company, wherein it's like you just went through and cherry-picked your favorite indie guys or former WWE talents, and you just made your own company. It's really what it looks like. I mean, and a lot of them look like. Yeah, I'm gonna say a couple more times. Oh snap! Really, those guys? Oh damn! This, you know what? This might actually be pretty good. And a couple of them look like, because I know they have an agreement with New Japan and AAA and all that. But just to hit on some of the names, and I'm surprised. he didn't bring this up the other night when you talked to him, Eddie, but obviously, of course, he owns it, Jeff Jarrett, and he's tagged his own wife in there. Who hasn't tagged his wife, though? But, the Young Bucks, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, Lance Hoyt and Davey Boy Smith Jr., Sanjay Dutt, P.J. Black, formerly Flippy McFlipperson. Hell, Eddie, what was he in WWE?
Who?
P.J. Black.
Oh,
Who's with
God.
the Nexus? Justin Gabriel.
Okay.
Christy Adonis Mordetsky, Thea Trinidad, which used to be Rosita.
Right.
I guess this is an MMA guy I've never heard of him. Chael Sonnen.
Oh, Chael Sonnen. Okay, yeah, former yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to have something to do with Scott Hall has signed on with him. And this is where it gets kind of weird that signed with Global Force. It says George T. Murdoch, also known as Brodus Clay, also known as Tyrus.
Yeah.
I thought he was with TNA.
He is for a little while longer.
Yeah. Moose from Ring of Honor. Sanjay Dutt and Davey Boy Smith Jr. said that. Luke Hawks. Andrew Everett. Used to be Chiba Kid. Takaki Watanabe. Trent Beretta.
Former WWE's, yeah.
Jimmy Rave. I didn't know if he brought that up the other night when you sat down with him. Huh?
No, he didn't.
Believe it or not, Sonata has signed with Global Force. Little bit of an FU to TNA. But if anybody knows this little quick story on that, Sonata's with Wrestle One. There had been, from what I'd heard, there had been some financial issues with Wrestle One. They couldn't afford to book TNA talent because that was supposed to be the whole deal. Was supposed to be talent swaps. They couldn't book TNA talent. TNA got ticked off. They ended the bargain, and then they just dumped Sonata.
See, I'm going to cut in for a second because listening to different TNA talents talk about the way that TNA's front office does business. Look, Warren Buffett would have a hard time booking TNA talent through the TNA office. I'm sorry. They rape, pillage, and plunder when it comes to booking fees, and they're not giving the talent what the talent deserves. I will sit back and say this. Remember Taylor Wilde, who was a former TNA Knockout and Knockouts champion? The way they did her? That's the start of the downfall for me having any faith whatsoever in the Impact front office.
Yeah.
And actually, go ahead and figure this one out. I saw this on Twitter earlier today. Taylor Wilde is actually going to be holding a wrestling seminar soon. As a matter of fact, next week.
I saw that. I follow her on Twitter or Facebook. I think it was Twitter. But from what I heard, just recently signed over the past day or so, Shelton Benjamin. But like I said, if I didn't mention Jimmy Rave, Cliff Compton, Lady DePapa.
Nice.
They've, huh?
No, I know.
And here's a couple that's really surprised me. Okay, well, the New Heavenly Bodies, I'm not sure I'm familiar with those gentlemen. So I don't really know who they are. I can't really see who they are in the picture because they've got a basic website. But two names in particular that I'm really shocked to see. One non-shocker, well, not shocker, but just one kind of, good for him. Jamin Olivencia from OVW.
Right. Jamin Olivencia.
Yep. And then he's going by this name, but Jigsaw from Chikara, formerly Rubik's of TNA.
Right.
He has been picked up, and the mask looks a little modified. You can see his mouth. But Jigsaw, and are you ready for this? Sweet Chucky T. Chuck Taylor has signed for Global Force Wrestling. I'm in. That's all they had to do.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm just going to be I'm going to be a jerk about it for a minute there. They haven't had
and by the way, Wicked's favorite tag team, the Hot Shots.
Okay. When you said Wicked's favorite, I thought you were going to say Nature Boy Paul Lee. I was going to lose my mind.
Oh my God! If Paul Lee, I would have called you. If he would have been on there, I would have called you immediately. Like, we need to do a show now. We need to do a show now. I don't care if it's 2:00 in the morning. We're doing a show right now.
As long as it wasn't interrupting the soccer match from last night.
I'd be like, wake up, Wicked. We're doing the show, and we're just going to let him go loose. We're just going to turn him loose.
Well, yeah, that's when I'll just go and fire up the TBD music beds because I don't think I'd want to hear it on the BR music beds. Oh, God help me. But now, here's the thing, and I'm going to be a dork about this, and I don't care. Look, when they have their first real show, then I'll call it a pro wrestling promotion.
Right now, it's a fantasy booking league.
Pretty much. It's still fantasy football. That's it.
Well, I mean, it's like I told you, all the names I've read off. To me, that looks like, and I'm not, no offense to anybody, no offense to any of the guys.
Right.
And that's booked. No offense to any of those, but to me, that looks like something I've done on 2K15. I'm like, okay, well, I'm a fan of this guy. I'll put him in my own little company. Put him in this company. And that's literally what it looks like. It's just like a real life creative fed.
Well, with as much as Ring of Honor has brought in the Bullet Club and NJPW stars, I am so thankful that they have not succumbed to putting Jeff Jarrett on that television show, because I think putting Jeff Jarrett on Ring of Honor will immediately cast that show into a negative light realm. I'm sorry.
By the way, speaking of negative, they also had, some people would see this as a negative, they also have Jim Cornette.
Saw that coming a mile away. It's kind of like with the lead-in that Lucha Underground has been doing with Sean Daivari. It's like, really? You're giving him that much of a build-up? He wasn't worth that much of a build-up when he was in WWE or TNA. I mean, I'm not a detractor, but I'm not a fan. I'm pretty much.
I mean, I agree. I mean, he's good, but it's not anything.
Yeah, it's really not. But and we'll take it back to GFW for a second. And yes, that moratorium did get lifted, and I told everybody why. I had no problem discussing it. But the thing about it is, you can have commitments from everybody. I mean, if Jeff Jarrett calls me on and says, "Look, I'm going to do TV tapings on Tuesday night. I'd love you to do ring announcing and color commentary. Here's what I'm willing to offer as far as payment goes." Okay, it's on a night that I'm not normally doing anything, and I can handle that. It's like, well, if I'm doing something on Friday, call Dan Sawyer and ask him if I'll take a Friday off of B-Dubs. Nope. Call Kevin Brandon, see if I'll take a night off of B-Dubs. Nope. Call Moose Lewis, ask him if I'll take a Friday night off what I'm... Nope. Sorry. And that's the thing about me. I'm very weird in that regard. I'm just... There's nothing there to prove that this is going to be a full-scale promotion. I mean, if he gets something signed with a television deal, okay, fine, great, wonderful. And look, I'm not going I would sit back and say this. If the timing were right and the positioning were right and the money were right, yeah, I'd go on the road do something for GF. I'd rather do it for Ring of Honor. And God knows I love to sit alongside Mad Striker and Vampiro over in Lucha Underground. Oh, my God. That show is just too much fun, and I'd have a field day calling that action. And that's for me the fact of the matter. Until they actually run a show and put out their own product, not sign on as a marketing company or as a piggyback for an international pay-per-view, that's just not it. That doesn't solidify you as a pro wrestling promotion in my eyes. Call me jaded. Call me cynical, call me spoiled, call me whatever the hell you want to that we can say on the radio, #HellDamnAss. But that's the way I look at it right now. And I'm sure that behind the scenes and everything else, that to the right people, Jeff Jarrett is a likable person. Jeff Jarrett has never impressed me as far as his... I mean, he did great for a while with the early onset of TNA and Impact. But as time went by, and I know that a lot of things happened for him to lose creative control of the company and everything else, but I don't see it. I'm just not going to see Global Force Wrestling as a true force in wrestling. And do I see them doing anything global? Not yet. But I've been wrong once or twice. Prove me wrong. Until then, I'm right. Speaking of right, I would like to thank Vince McMahon and the board of directors of WWE because of their act of kindness this evening. And I understand that, they've been trying to get in touch because they want to pay me back for some of the things that I've spent money on in the past. So, tonight they're actually going to center a pay-per-view, supposedly, or something on the network around the concept of them actually paying me back. I'm flattered, I'm humbled, and I'm very respectful of the situation. Mark, have you ever had anything like that where a company has offered to pay you back on their network?
You really want me to go with this shtick?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I'm not going to go with this shtick.
Ass.
That's like saying, hey, what concert costs 45 cents? 50 cents featuring Nickelback. No, it's just not going to happen.
I haven't heard that for a while. Thank you for the memory.
We're not going to do this.
Why not? It would have been good if you'd have played along, you dork.
No. Now, if you would have said something along the lines of, yeah, it's called Payback because they're going to be paying me back everything I spent on this pay-per-view.
Well, you forget I've had the network for a few months. They owe me $1 or $2.
Yeah. The network aside, I think the network's done a lot of great things.
It really has.
I have not watched, Foley's stand-up special, which I hope to catch real soon. The fact that they're running Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling. Look, Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling and NXT, the network pays for itself, right there. So
no, the NXT paid for the network itself. I'm sorry.
Oh my God! All right, have you heard? Oh my God! Oh, hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm farting and I'm having to, so we don't have an on-air accident.
There you go. Well, if you can hold out 5 more minutes, we can go to the break.
Oh no, it's all good now. I had Moe's and I had the spicy chipotle, the chipotle salsa. So smoky and tangy, but good. And then there was the salsa. Where were we? No, but there's been great. I've heard great reviews coming out of the Philly. I think it was 2 nights in Philly, 1 night in New York. NXT was at this week,
right?
But I've just heard that great things come out of that whole little run that they've had. Here's something, Eddie. I don't know if you saw this. Are you sitting down?
Yes.
Freaking, I think the first night, Baron Corbin, which the fans have turned on very viciously, and I haven't been able to catch NXT in the past few weeks. Hell, I ain't gonna lie. Since the last live pay-per-view, or since the last live NXT preview. So, I just missed it. Haven't get a chance to watch it. But I still read the results, everything that's going on. But apparently the fans are turning on Baron Corbin because I thought last Wednesday was was going to be whatever the new, I don't know, what are they, NXT Takeover Unreliable? I don't know.
Unstoppable?
Is that what it is? I don't know.
Yeah, as long as they don't call it #shoot unstoppable, I'm sure a certain canine amigo of ours isn't going to lose his mind anymore.
But I was sitting there watching it, and then I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? I was like, and then when they said, yeah, and they were like, next week on NXT TakeOver, I was like, wait, so this isn't live? This is one of the tapes? But it was Baron Corbin, and the fans were just booing him just without mercy. And I was like, wait a minute, what's happened? You guys used to count along to how long it would take for him to beat somebody, and you guys were yelling, I swear it sounded like they were chanting boring. Anyway, fast forward to Friday night. I want to say it was Friday night. It had to be Friday night. Baron Corbin told Joey Styles to bring to dig up any old ECW relic, because he's taking on Rhino this coming Wednesday.
Right.
But he told Joey Styles to dig up any old relic, ECW relic, and he'll bury him just like he's going to bury Rhino. Some paraphrasing, of course. Well, Joey Styles the next night, guess what he brings out?
Who dat?
This is where you need to sit down. Tommy Dreamer.
Really?
Owner of House of Hardcore Tommy Dreamer on a WWE show. And not even that. TNA producer Tommy Dreamer was at the house show. Of course he lost, but still.
I'm just kind of curious because I'd like to find out for myself because I've not really asked her, nor have I mean, I'm guilty of not having paid attention in order to answer this question before I ask it. Because a lot of the times I can. Just Incredible. PJ Polacco, is he still active or is he primarily just on Twitter?
He's active at your local Olive Garden.
Do-doom-doom-ch.
No, he still does stuff from time to time.
Because I would actually, I mean, okay, look, there are some people that I would have really enjoyed working with, and Just Incredible was one of them.
Well, I'm sure you know somebody with some deep pockets and a big checkbook. I'm sure the next show he runs, you can convince him to, and it wouldn't take much convincing.
Man.
I'm sure you could convince him to book him.
Man.
Well, Eddie, all right, man, I'll talk to him.
I'm trying to remember who else had that vocal effect in the cartoons, and I can't remember it. Yeah, man.
All right, man.
It legitimately is a cartoon character, and I can never freaking remember it.
I just don't understand how a grown man can have a little boy's haircut. But that's beside the point.
It's a bowl cut from hell, too.
That is a little boy's haircut.
What would be worse, the bowl cut or the mullet?
But see, there's a little bit of irony with the mullet. You could pull off a mullet ironically. When you look like, Lloyd Christmas, it's just not going to work.
It's all fun and games until you get your Daisy BB gun and shoot somebody's eye out, namely your own.
Yeah, true enough. But, yeah, I just wanted to, they started, since we last convened, they had started, dropping people on who, is going to be on the Global Force Wrestling. And as much as a lot of those guys I think are very talented, a lot of them, with the exception of Chris Mordetsky. Nothing against him. I just don't think he's very talented. I just wanted to, I just look at it and I'm like, this is like a creative company right here.
Well, I mean, look, that's the funny thing about it because when you put it, I mean, if you have a company that is up and running, because when you looked at Lucha Underground when they first got started, there was an entirely different ball game in play. Hang on, 1, 2, 3. I was right. Okay, that was the finish. Sorry, I was watching the Briscoes versus War Machine. I love that match, and I just missed the last couple of seconds. And matter of fact, tell you what, let's hold that thought. Let me go ahead and go to the bottom of the hour break. When we come back, I will answer that question, and we'll also take a look at how WWE once again is going to pay me back. Hang with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fans from around the world, I'm Lightning Mike Quackenbush, the master of 1,000 holds, and you're locked in for Beyond Ringside.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Smart Rage from Wrestle Rage Radio, coming to you from the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Join myself and my co-host, Super Stan Grubb, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern as we present Wrestle Rage Radio, where we rant and rave on everything in the world of pro wrestling. Sometimes we'll have a guest. Sometimes it'll be just me and Stan BSing about the sport that we love, pro wrestling. Check us out. Tune in Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, only on the Beyond Ringside Network.
This is Merciless Ray Mercer, Olympic gold medalist and board member of Find the Dream, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Hey, this is Stuart Couch from the Cause and Effect Thursday Night Throwdown. Catch us here every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
This is Danny Cage from the world famous Monster Factory, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
Hello, this is Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express, 8-time NWA World Tag Team Champions, and the true independent outlaw wrestler of the world. You're locked in Beyond Ringside.
And 23 before the top of the hour, sitting ready to ride this thing one more time. I'm in the process of a discussion right now with both Corey or Smart Rage and Stan, so we're trying to figure out exactly which direction everything's going to go tonight on Wrestle Rage Radio. I think it may end up being a two-parter. So we may actually split this up. And I'm also going to go and let everybody know now, before I go any further, I've had a conversation with Reverend Dan Wilson. And
that was going to be actually my next question. I was going to say see if you've heard from him.
Actually, he got in touch with me earlier in the week, and we, with a lot of things going on right now, he has put the Midnight Black Mass on hiatus, which I completely understand because I did it with the whole frickin' station. I'm sorry, I did. And I still apologize to the entire cast of all the shows. It should have never happened that way, and that was my fault. It was the wrong thing to do. Dan has put, or Reverend Dan has put MBM on hiatus temporarily. And I have told him that if things work out, of course, he's always welcome to come join me on any of the BR branded broadcasts. I can sit back and say that. Always great to have him on board. From that vantage point, when things get back in place, if things get back in place to where he feels comfortable doing it again, the door's damn well open. Plain and simple. So the MBM is definitely, is right now on hiatus. But like I said, you never know what can happen around here. It can all change at the drop of a hat, blink of an eye, flip of a coin. Yeah, we'll use the coin toss analogy later. But at this point, when we wrap up, we'll wrap up as the pay-per-view kicks off. Free per-view, $9.99 per-view, whatever the hell you want to call it, in about 21 minutes from... Yeah, really. Saves me a lot of trouble DVRing everything because I just hit replay. And I like their desk that they're using for this set for a change.
Well, you're not talking about that. I thought you're talking about that horrible Monday Night Raw pre-show 3D horrible thing that everybody's been talking about.
Don't know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard about it last Monday night. Apparently they were all standing on a giant green screen.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's just stupid. No, keep everything in the front of the crowd where they can see it. Let's bring back Kevin Kelly.
Go look it up. Go look it up from last week.
From Raw? Are you doing what yeah, okay. Mute your phone.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Was having a Tasha Simone flashback for a second there.
Well, I'm sorry. I forgot we were in the middle of the show and we were just talking, and I had to go pee really bad. I'm sorry. Like, seriously, listeners, I'm sorry, not really, but...
What did I say during segment 1?
Huh?
What did I say during segment 1? It's bound to happen sooner or later. Payback.
Oh, God, but I had to pee really bad.
Okay. Well, Wrestle Rage Radio, Smart Rage is going to take over Wrestle Rage at 8 p.m. Central Time, going into the second hour of the pay-per-view, because that's when they normally launch, is 8 p.m.
Oh, okay.
From there, Stan Grubb, who will be watching Payback this evening.
Grubbalicious?
Huh?
Grubbalicious?
Yeah, there you go. Grubbalicious. We're working things out with him to come on at 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern. So Corey's going to go from 8 to 9 Central, 9 to 10 Eastern, and then Stan's going to come on at 11 p.m. Eastern, and he and I are going to work on a little bit of a wrap-up show. So we'll play that by ear and take it from there. The answer is yes, by the way. But from that vantage point, like I said...
I didn't even know I asked the question.
I know you.
I didn't even know the question, seriously.
Wait till 10. The answer is yes. But from there, let's go and look at this thing real quick before we run out of time. The Fatal 4-Way match, wow, really? And if Rollins does not retain, Kane will be fired? Wow. Can you just make it that much more obvious? Look, your thoughts and a prediction on that match.
Let me take a sip of water first.
Okay.
Water.
As you let it go, you must take it back in.
Exactly. Oh, Renee Young. Whew. Dean Ambrose, you are a lucky son of a gun. Not only is she hot, but she's into pro wrestling.
Okay,
anyway,
go ahead.
Look, I don't know what's going to happen, but I would not be surprised if all three members of the Shield reunite and come under the banner of
the Authority.
Yeah, it just would not shock me. You know what I'm saying? Because, as we know, next week I think is the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view exclusively on the network for $9.99. And they're talking about doing the tag team Elimination Chamber. And so far I think there's been 2 tag teams that have not been named. And they're talking about having like the tag teams, like both teams have both partners of the team in the chamber. And the way they had it, predicted, it still left 2 spots open. Why not? Why not the Shield? Why not Ambrose and Reigns? I mean, as over as Ambrose is with the fans, WWE itself is never going to do anything with him as far as giving him the belt, which I think is ridiculous. Although he might be in the Intercontinental Elimination Chamber. Reigns, they've tried. I think it's time to go back to the drawing board with him. But, I mean, I would not be surprised. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm probably far from it. This is one of those dark horse picks. But, yeah, it's payback. Rollins is going to walk away with the belt. Regardless of somehow. I just don't see, and I could be wrong, but like I said, but, look at the dynamic it could make if Rollins did lose the belt and Kane got fired.
He could go to Global Force.
He'd go to Global Force. They could call him Abel.
Oh.
I don't know. They probably would.
Calls him, yeah, really, just call him Beelzebub.
Oh, they'd call him something. The big red machine monster man.
Well, here,
I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say Rollins. We might actually say a clean Rollins victory.
Yeah, I highly doubt it'll be a clean victory by Rollins. By the way, it was cool as hell watching him throw out the first pitch today at the Baltimore Orioles game. A little bit high, but other than that, pretty much down the center.
Oh, look, it's Captain Dingleberry face.
Which one's that? Oh,
Shayla.
that one. Okay, never mind. But
I mean, seriously, did he really think that having dingleberries grow from his beard would take away from his horrendous overbite?
Don't know. Don't care.
I always thought that was dip in his mouth. That's not. He's just got an horrendous overbite.
Yeah, that's true. From my vantage point, the first thing when I first heard about this match being a fatal 4-way with all 3 former members of the Shield, it's like they're finally going to give the fans back what they want, and that's the Shield put back together. I've heard the rumors about Ambrose turning heel for a while. Whoop-de-damn to do. Let's go ahead and do the Big Show Mark Henry Kane thing with Dean Ambrose. Really? That's the best you got is to turn him heel. If you're going to do it, bring the whole damn Shield back together. One way or the other.
Why I said I wouldn't be surprised if they went back under the Authority.
Well, see, here's the funny part. Considering technically you've got Kane in that questionable role, but he's still looking more babyface than heel, depending on the week. Randy Orton makes a better heel than a babyface, by the way. Always has, always will. In theory, you've got 3 faces against 1 heel. That don't work. Something's got to give. Do I see Ambrose coming over to the Authority? I see Reigns coming over to the Authority that much faster.
Oh, yeah.
But they have so much banked on Reigns right now, and it isn't paying off. So, yes, I do see Reigns. I do see Rollins retaining. I do not see Orton, Ambrose, or Reigns picking up the title tonight. I don't see a clean victory in any shape, form, or capacity, and I see a heel turn either by Reigns or Ambrose. Which one? I'm more. It makes more sense for it to be Reigns, but knowing WWE's logic, I'll say Ambrose is the one who's going to turn tonight. Ryback versus Bray Wyatt. That would have been a tongue twister in anybody's line of work. MaBo?
I don't even know where to go with this. I mean, you know, they've been sort of trying to build Ryback up, but when's the last time Bray Wyatt's actually won a feud?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it didn't work with The Undertaker. In the end with Cena, it didn't work. You know, he's supposed to be this mastermind. By the way, that's what I'm waiting on right there, the Mega Powers versus the Ascension. That's what I'm waiting on.
That's going to be another...
No, that's going to be awesome.
The Mega Powers versus the Ascension?
Dude, you've got the Axeman and you've got Macho Mandow. Come on. You can't go wrong with that, brother.
Oh, yes, the hell you can. Personally, and speaking of going wrong, I think they're going horribly wrong with this match. I just don't see any possibility for a pure storyline advancement. I'm sorry. Ryback has gotten better. He's less reckless. Bray Wyatt is great in ring. Honestly,
but yeah, it's just like it's like they just said, hey, we've got these two guys. What do we do with them? I'll put them together. What do you want to do with them? No clue.
Could be worse. It could have made them a tag team.
That sounds like some independent wrestling stuff right there.
It really does. I was about to bring him in after we got that prediction done. Ladies and gentlemen, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis. What's up, Wick?
How's everyone doing this lovely evening? I'm over here taking care of my glaucoma. We have a lot to talk about. I'm sorry that I did not realize it was this late. I did not even realize there was a pay-per-view until I saw the production thread or the production messages. MaBo, I wish you'd have been there last night. Eddie, I wish you'd have been there. I know you guys had other things that you had to do, but inducting Damon Christopher, a.k.a. Damon Taz, a.k.a. Damon Harrison, into the UIW Hall of Fame was amazing. I told Rob Adonis that if he told one more story about Bull Buchanan, I was going to rip his head off and crap down his neck. Love Rob Adonis. Lord have mercy, it was 1,000 degrees in there, and I got cut off. They played me out when I was inducting Damon. If you go back and look at the video that's up on YouTube, they started playing music. I guess we're inducting Damon Taz. And UIW, if somebody hands you a CD that says Wicked Nemesis on it, don't play the Sevenfold Saints music. I don't come out to Princes of the Universe. I come out to Kanye West Black Skinheads, Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The people over there were insane. And then the ring breaks. First match, first bump. So there was a hole in the ring. But that didn't stop me beating the crap out of Joshua Hagan. And Josh, I told you we're going to be 100% going to the 30th. I hit Joshua Hagan last night with that belt so hard, it busted him open. And I had used baby powder and baby oil on him. Let me tell you guys something. 2 out of 3 falls. What I did was lured Stan in, hit Joshua Hagan while Stan wasn't looking with the powder. It looked like a scene from Bloodsport, and then I clocked him with the title. Everybody was confused. That's because sheeple are confused. When I hit him with the title, it gave him a fall. I immediately got a quick cover. There was my fall, 1-1. I thought I could get him again. He kicked out. I went for another quick cover. He kicked out. And then Mad Dog Dan Sawyer decided to interject himself. And once again, you guys know me. Just because the fans love me now at certain promotions doesn't mean that I don't know how to cheat. And I went out and hit Dan Sawyer with baby powder and baby oil so hard, he literally got hit with the bag. And I loved every minute of it. So, Eddie, Van's not 100% going in to the 30th. Josh isn't 100% going into the 30th. I say, even though I lost the U.S. title, thanks to Dan Sawyer, Steve Styles' U.S. title, we win the war. And it leads into global warfare. May 30th, Pell City Civic Center. And I pray to God that Mark MaBo Bowman is there to witness this. And I hope Tunsey shows up. And I hope Brooks Logan shows up. I hope Joe Nelson finally decides to show up since he was supposed to be coming to UIW and backed out to the last minute, of course, because he was sitting around watching concert. I like Slipknot is better than the next guy. I wrestle in a Slipknot singlet. But when you say you're going to be there for somebody that you supposedly respect so much, show your ass up, Joe Nelson.
He finally took he took a breath.
What are you talking about? Eddie! Trying to put me on blast?
No, everything's good. I said you took a breath. We're good. I didn't know if you were getting ready to go into another part of the diatribe. It's actually
oh no, I'm sorry. That was it.
You were on a roll, dude.
Well, look, the thing about it is I didn't get a chance to talk about it last night. There's so much that happened. The match with Josh has been uploaded right now to YouTube. It is possibly up. MaBo, thank you for the like. I saw that you had actually viewed the Damon Christopher induction ceremony. Thank you. It was a great night. I literally looked at everybody and I said, one of these things just doesn't belong here. You had Steve Lawler, Terry Lawler, Bull Buchanan, Rob Adonis, Colt Dillinger, Damon Christopher, all Hall of Famers, and then me. Yeah. And who would have thought when I started in 2006 in Anniston, Alabama, of all the guys at ACW, even those guys that thought they were better than me, I'm the only one still working. Blau, how you like me now? Don't funk style. Ruthless, wow. Do you want to get your teeth knocked out?
There you go.
It was good, though. I wish you guys would have been there.
And by the way, for the record, the second that I saw that Damon had posted the link to it, I went ahead and shared it on all fronts. So actually,
well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
The video link is now up on the Facebook fan pages for Beyond Ringside, The To Be Determined Show, Global Championship Wrestling, and Fast Eddie Layne. So,
well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Damon, oh my God, Damon put the sweetest thing up, today. And yes, I did tear up. I didn't cry last night. The last time I cried, well, when we weren't listening to Johnny Cash or something. Look, he owns hurt. Okay,
he does.
But it was a great night had by all. Even with the ring breaking, Roxy and Pandora put on a pretty good match. AJ and Mad Dog had an amazing match. Josh and I. Anybody. I actually went to Fruithurst today and had to sign autographs to take pictures because one guy noticed me. And then as I was getting ready to leave after posing for pictures, walked out, and the lady walking in and her daughter recognized me from Peach State. So, yay capitalism.
Amen. Tell you what, let's hit these real quick. We've already done predictions for the main event and the second, but I'm going to bring you in on it. Fatal 4-way match. Dean Ambrose, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. Rollins defending.
Rollins, they're not going to take it off Rollins at all. I like the fact that that there is an eclectic group in this 4-way. That is very good. I thought originally it was supposed to be him against Randy Orton again. I'm glad they're doing something else with it. So that's great. I would love to see Ambrose get it, but come on now, they're not going to put the title on him yet. I do see big things in his future, but I don't think it's going to happen yet.
Ryback and Bray Wyatt one-on-one tonight. Speaking of eclectic,
Bray Wyatt, I think definitely needs to win this. We talked about Wednesday night about a real silverback and what the atrocities that they had to occur with those guys. So Ryback, you go right ahead and you continuously call yourself a silverback or whatever because exit only.
No kidding. And the Ascension has just beat Macho Man and Axelmania. Damn, I hate it when that happens, but they had to find a way to get them two back on track somehow. And I think that would be, and MaBo, I thought you were kidding at first, and I looked over to the screen and they actually introduced him as Macho Man, and I'm sitting back going, damn.
Is he doing what the Big Show did years ago and like doing everybody's different gimmicks?
He's been doing that. He was doing that for a while before he was Miz.
Well, I don't watch WWE.
There you go.
I've got my head up my ass too far.
I Quit match, which I will sit back and say this. The promo that Cena cut 2 weeks ago or 2 Raws ago and leading into the Sami Zayn situation, that one was actually, he took a hostile Montreal crowd and just had them riding the roller coaster right along with him. And I give all the respect in the world. I'm not exactly the biggest Cena fan in the world, but on that night, 2 Raws ago, I actually had to stand up out of my chair and applaud John Cena for basically taking a Bizarro World crowd and adding them to the C Nation. And they were assimilated. And they were rocking, too. I loved it. I was tremendous. Will a promo like that help in the final outcome of this match tonight? Nope, because it's already been predetermined because of the fact that they have backed themselves into a corner. Cena's had the belt for 2 pay-per-views. Cena's going into an I Quit match, which he's never said I quit. He has been deemed unable to continue, therefore losing a match. But therefore stipulation in play, guess what? We're probably going to see the physical end of Rusev tonight, in my humble opinion. But I'll cover that in a second. MaBo, your prediction.
For that one, plain and simple, Lana is going to quit for Rusev, throw in the towel, whatever. Because Rusev will not say I quit. So they're going to have Lana do it, which is going to set up Lana turning babyface and eventually coming out that she's not really Russian. And, they're just going to run with it from there. I mean, because she's got, they're going to have to do something because, the movie, The Interrogator, is supposed to be hitting soon. So, and then we're going to find out that she's not really Russian. So this is going to be the start of Lana no longer being Russian and breaking away from Rusev because the company's really high on her, and I'm sure they're going to start using her as the face for a lot of things. Giggity. So look for Cena to win because Lana threw in the towel for Rusev.
Wick, your thoughts?
Like you said, they've painted themselves into a corner. John Cena, the greatest sports entertainer of all time, he did what he had to do. It put a complete halt to Rusev and to what he was doing, but they had to do something, and who better to end the streak than Cena? Cena can lose this and go on to something else, and it will make Rusev even that much better. So I'm very happy with this. I've got Rusev in this one.
I would love to have Rusev in this one just to hear John Cena actually say the words, I quit. But by the same token, unfortunately, like I said, they've painted themselves into the corner, and I've got to sit back and say Cena retains, and I agree with the storyline possibility that Lana will be the one to throw in the towel. That's been running rampant all over internet and through a number of different circles in addition to the internet. So I'm just going to go ahead and sit back, and I will join that bandwagon in that particular regard. A match that could shock some people by how good it has the potential to be. Dolph Ziggler and Sheamus. MaBo.
Ziggler.
Care to expound? We got a minute.
Nope. Ziggler.
Okay. Wick.
Hopefully Ziggler. Ziggler is amazing. Every little bit helps him even more.
They have had Sheamus on an up-and-down run ever since his return this time around, and this could actually be a pivot point, but Sheamus is going to have to turn in the match that everybody knows he can turn in. He's not going to be able to call this one in. He can't phone it in tonight. He can't telephone, telegraph, tell a woman, AT&T, doesn't freaking matter. Sheamus is going to have to step up tonight to match the expectations that everybody has for him.
It's always good to see the WWE looking at your stuff, too. Nice haircut, Sheamus.
There you go. I would love to see Ziggler win, but in this particular circumstance, because of the way things are going, I really have to put the call on Sheamus. King Barrett versus Neville. MaBo.
Let's see. I'm gonna go with King Barrett. For some reason. It's going to be a good match, though. We're going to see a lot of impressive stuff out of Neville, as we always do. But I'm just going to go King Barrett.
Wick.
I go Barrett as well. I saw the back and forth they had on the European tour, how he said that Barrett said Neville would be the first English champion. This is going to be one of those that Wade Barrett is just amazing. I cannot say enough about a guy that big that can wrestle and cut a promo. I'm so glad that he won the King of the Ring. They put it on him. He definitely, man, Wade Barrett, hands down, Wade Barrett. I think it's coming for him. If he can stay healthy, I believe that his run is coming.
I'm going to have to agree wholeheartedly. As much as I would love to see Neville take a victory in his first pay-per-view appearance for WWE on the network, I'm going to have to sit back and say this. Everybody does the honors. Barrett's been on a tear. He's been on a great roll ever since he's returned, and his nose is still crooked as hell. So in that, which means nothing whatsoever in the overall scheme of things. But honestly, I'm going to go ahead and sit back and say this. I really think, and this is another match I think could steal the show. Barrett is talented. Neville's damn talented. You put these two together in the right environment and let them run, they will have people talking for the next week. But I'm still going to end up saying that the current King of the Ring, King Barrett, wins tonight. Real quick, Tag Team Championship match. New Day and Cesaro and Kid. MaBo.
People are having too much fun hating the New Day. So I think New Day is going to win.
Wick.
Oh, yeah, New Day. It is a New Day, and they're going to break up Cesaro and Kid. They're too over for their own good, once again.
I made the joke about what TNA did when they were copycatting Evolution down in their promotion, down in Impact. I am not going to sit back and say that they can utilize the Freebirds rule and call themselves the Brobirds. Well, I sure as ever love in hell wasn't going to say the Blackbirds. I mean, there is no way I was going to say that on radio at any time whatsoever. But you're right. New Day, everybody's having too much fun hating them. And the thing about it is, they're actually all three talented. Cesaro and Kid, they're over that short run they had with the belts. It's not going to hurt them to not have the belts and to actually be able to go back and forth tag team for tag team. I think it's really a good concept. So in this case, I'd go ahead and sit back and say that, yeah, New Day is actually going to retain on this one. We already covered the fact that I just think it's funny as hell, the new age mega powers. I love that concept. Do I want to talk about the Divas match? Yay, nay, go ahead, Mabo.
I don't care. I mean, look, it wouldn't surprise me if Naomi wins, just so Paige can get it, take it back off of her. But to me, Naomi should be a lot further along than what everybody, what she should have been at this point. I've always been a big Naomi supporter, but it just seems like this last year, she is really just
regressed.
Yeah, or just growing stale. She's just stagnant.
Amen.
She's not.
Your Divas division is not deep. Your Divas division in the WWE is not strong. Therefore, they have no choice but to peddle the same ones out there every week or every opportunity. People get tired of seeing it, and guess what? When you don't show progress and when you keep getting pushed out there and your skill set, move set, and attitude don't improve in that order or in reverse order, you do get stale, and it shows. But this is actually a tag team encounter with Naomi and Tamina taking on the Bella Twins. Title not on the line.
Is that what it is? I thought it was a title match.
No, it's not a title match, amazingly enough. They brought in Tamina, and look, I would love to see Tamina get the win over one of the two Bella Twerps. I mean, I'm almost done with the Divas division. # give the Divas a chance. Give us some Divas we can get behind. Naomi was good. Tamina can be good again. Nikki is okay, and Brie is effing horrible. So that's all I've got to...
Go ahead.
As long as they keep putting out stuff like this, there will be cannon fodder. But Mabo, your prediction?
Well, if the title's not on the line, I'm gonna say maybe the Bella Twins. But little side note: The Rock's cousin Lena has just started NXT, and somebody took a picture, and I swear to you on everything, I thought that was Tamina. So don't be surprised if you see, like, in the next few months, depending how well she progresses, Lena and Tamina taking on the Bella Twins in a tag match.
If the Bellas are even still there, because I thought they were leaving at the end of their contract.
Yeah, well, they always say that, but let's be honest, they can pretend that they have, enough talent to go somewhere as an act or run a business or whatever.
They'll join Sonny at Vivid.
I'm telling you right now, those two girls are walking fleshlights, just waiting for the next quote-unquote deposit of talent, if you know what I'm saying.
Talent is not sexually transmitted, and I still want that soundbite. Yes, I don't have it. Go figure. Sheamus and Ziggler's going to be the lead-off match. Wick, your thoughts? Tag team Divas match.
Bella Twins, I guess. I don't know. Was Tamina hurt? Is that why she was gone?
Don't know.
Yeah, I think she hurt her knee or something.
Well, I guess she needs to go the way of her dad and kill her boyfriend, and we'll just all cover it up.
There you go.
She'll be champion. Allegedly.
Yeah, there you go. And allegedly the Bellas are going to...
You like that, didn't you, Mabo? You like that, didn't you? Allegedly. That's my Ralph Garman.
Tell you what, let's run it real quick. We're 5 minutes after the hour. Pay-per-view's kicked off. Mabo, last call.
Don't got no last call, so I'll just go ahead and throw out the shameless plug. Actually, it could be a combo. Tomorrow night, starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 Central, is Raw Alternative 2. For those of you that don't know what that is, Beyond Wrestling, not to be confused with us, Beyond Ringside, on the YouTube channel, we'll be featuring select matches, not mattresses.
Mattresses?
Well, unless they have a hardcore match, then there might be a mattress. But they will be showing select matches from various independent promotions, much like they did with the first Raw Alternative. That's RAW Alternative. So definitely check them out. I say, this is a great way to support independent wrestling. It's a great way to sort of cleanse your palate of the crap that is on Monday nights. And it's a great way to find something new that you might like. The companies so far being featured are going to be C4, Interspecies Wrestling, AAW Pro, Alpha One Wrestling, Dreamwave Wrestling, Absolute Intense Wrestling, Smash Wrestling, Beyond Wrestling, Freelance Wrestling, IWA Mid-South, Inspire Pro, Shimmer Women's Wrestling, and of course Chikara Pro. Like I said, it's going to be on the Beyond Wrestling YouTube page, so that's www.youtube.com/Beyond Wrestling or / I don't know which way it is.
And Drew Cordero, you still owe us an interview.
But
bitch.
Definitely go to if you're on Facebook or Twitter, go to the respective Beyond Wrestling pages and just follow the links. And they have match listings. They have so far what some of the matches are going to be, and I can't wait. There's a lot of them that I can't wait to see. Wrecking Crew versus a Chikara contingency from Chikara. Interspecies Wrestling, Chris Dickinson versus Pinky Sanchez. I'm waiting to see. JCW is going to have a 4-way: Chris Sabin versus Brian Myers, which is the former Kurt Hawkins, versus the Grim Reaper versus Bandito Jr. AIW's got a Gargano versus Candice LeRae match. It's going to be great. So check it out, support it, and try a little something different on a Monday night.
Wick, last call.
Where to begin? Wednesday night, the To Be Determined show, live 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com, and the Beyond Ringside Radio app. Give us a like, give us a share, download it. Give us your comments, give any feedback. If you don't like it, say I don't like it, and say why. Just check it out. That's all we ask is for you to check out the Beyond Ringside Radio app, and I'm telling you, you won't delete it. Whenever you run out of memory on your smartphone, your tablet, you'll have to delete something. This is something you won't delete. I promise you that. All I'm saying, just try it out. Just try it, and you'll like it. This Wednesday, we're nicknaming, or I guess we'll give it a subtitle, Secret Origins. We're going to talk about where we all started from. Yourself, me, and Clyde Braddock. We're going to talk about how it all began. We're going to talk about what put us in the position that's going to occur on May 30th in Pell City, Alabama. I even want MaBo to call in. I want MaBo to tell why he became a wrestling fan. I want to know why you got in the business, where it started, because we don't talk about that enough. We interview thousands of people a year. We interview so many damn people. But we haven't sat down and talked about how we got into this. I haven't since I was on in, 2009? When I was first on, right. Maybe 2010?
Right.
We're going to talk about how it all began. We're calling it Secret Origins. This Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com. With myself, my much better half, Angie Travis, my executive producer and the host of this very show, Fast Eddie Layne, and the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock. We're going to talk to him about his weekend down with Vintage and with Port Richey and everywhere else he was this weekend that we're so jealous of with weather porn. So, and also maybe MaBo? We're opening the door for MaBo to come in and talk about it, how it all began too. It was all a dream, and now it's a reality.
Don't forget, you can find us. You're going to throw out the shameless plugs real quick, too?
Okay, at Wicked Nemesis on Twitter. Wicked Nemesis has a Facebook fan page, Unlucky Charms, Sevenfold Saints, The To Be Determined Show, and, of course, everything else that's on the web goes through Facebook, it appears. So give us a like and share, and if you don't like us, then thank you as well. Just check it out. And, of course, there's YouTube, Wicked Nemesis YouTube. There you go.
And maybe you've already done the shameless plug in the Beyond direction. Do you want to do one for you?
Not really, but little something working towards the future. Going to give a little tease, and I'll let you guys know when the interview happens. But I will be sitting down with Babs from Chikara, who runs the Chikara in 15 Minutes podcast.
Yeah.
she also does Chatting with the Chikarmy, where she sits down and speaks with various members of the Chikarmy about how they got into it, what they're into and everything. Then, of course, their dealings with Chikara and how they got into it. And I contacted her about being on, and we are going to be recording June 20th, my episode, and then hopefully in, a little after that it'll go up for broadcast. Because, it's like I said, there's you never really hear too many people from the South get to speak their mind about Chikara. So, hopefully I can maybe even coerce them to come back. Or if nothing else, try to get the sevenfold safest spot in King of Trios.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Folks, let's run it down real quick. Wrestle Rage Radio, Smart Rage is going to be taking the helm in about 45 minutes from right now. And then,
oh, God.
Because Stan wants to watch the pay-per-view, so Stan and I are going to come back at 10 p.m. Central Time, 11 o'clock Eastern after the pay-per-view. We're going to work that out from there. Back to Basics returns this coming Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central Time. Be joined by, or actually rejoined by a gentleman who hosts Legends Radio, Legends TV out of the Big Apple Market, and also was the associate producer for the movie The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. Mr. Evan Ginsberg comes back to Beyond Ringside. Glad to have him back on board this coming Tuesday night. You just heard Wick a minute ago. The To Be Determined show Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central Time. Once again, remember, all times that I'm mentioning right now are Central Time. So, and we're working to get everything back together on all fronts in a lot of ways right now. So keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com. It's just that easy. At Beyond Ringside on Twitter, and definitely the media page, which is undergoing a little bit of overhaul right now, over at BeyondRingside.com. On a personal note, thank you to everybody who came out to play this past Friday night at Buffalo Wild Wings in Alabaster. Had a great time at B-Dubs. Club B-Dubs is jokingly called, but we managed to make it a lot of fun. And last night with Jake's Southern and Caribbean Cafe, their chicken and waffles is really damn good. It really is. Good old-fashioned cast iron skillet cooked fried chicken. And they all said, ooh, hell yeah. It's really good. They got a great menu down there at Jake's. Thank you to everybody, and congratulations to Ricky Daniels, who picked up the $125 first prize in the karaoke contest last night, saying the Temptations classic Ain't Too Proud to Beg, and absolutely tore the house down. And also found out he'd been celebrating his birthday that week. So, Ricky, happy birthday. Congratulations. Matter of fact, I'll be back with Buffalo Wild Wings this coming Friday night, and that is going to be May 22nd. And on May 23rd, I'll be back with Jake's. Buffalo Wild Wings Friday night starts at 9 p.m. Jake's Saturday night on Pelham Parkway, Jake's Southern Caribbean, starts at 7 p.m. Karaoke contest will start at 9. We're going to give away another $125 first prize. Winner takes all. Get there early, get a couple practice tracks, and let's have some fun. And, of course, a lot of roads are heading for Pell City. Saturday, May 30th, Global Championship Wrestling, Global Warfare 2015. Keep your eyes open on GCWPro.com. And for me personally, keep your eyes open on FastEddieLayne.com. That's Layne. Especially the so-called journalists and people who try too hard to put themselves over, who know how to spell my name and still don't effing get it right. Morons. Plain and simple. Let's take it home, and we're going to be back at it next Sunday. Same bat time, same batty channel. Or in MaBo's case, a bowel movement channel. We'll talk later about that. Speaking of, Mark MaBo Bowman.
Have a Disney day.
For the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
Smodcast.com.
This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne, saying, until next time, adios, das vidania, hasta luego, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, sayonara, adieu, arrivederci. Farewell, abasinho, au revoir, until we meet again. Can you honestly believe that Impact dropped the menagerie and added the dollhouse? Really? The dollhouse? I didn't know that Impact was desperate enough for ratings that they would bring in a strip joint out of Miami. Goodbye. Yes, I know. Join us right here next time as we all go Beyond Ringside. Peace, aloha, bye for now.